And welcome everybody to the Daily Space Weather. Here at the Smash News Network, these busted name and news, we're coming at you once again with another fresh Independence Day edition of the Daily Space Weather. So thanks viewers, thanks friends, thanks foes. This is a composite image. That's 304 plus 171 angstroms. We've seen a minor uptick in solar activity here. Sunspots have been mostly stable. There's been a C-class flare from sunspot 3040, which has now completely set over the southwestern limb. We also saw geomagnetic storm conditions. We'll get to it. First, we would like to remind everybody, if you're not seeing all of our videos in your YouTube subscription feed, head to smashomash.com/smashteam and click Posts. See that link right there? Posts. That will show you all of our latest major video releases. Thanks to everybody who has. Now, we regularly stream live to Twitch as well. It's a fantastic live streaming platform. There's also a great mobile app that will actually notify you when we go live, twitch.tv/smashomash. Today's featured product is the Galactic Federation Special Forces. So, the motto of the Galactic Federation Special Forces is Universum Liberate. If you're sick of what's going on the planet, and you're sick of what's going on in the solar system, well, move out to the galactic scale and make a difference, as does the Galactic Federation Special Forces. I like to advertise it myself. Universum Liberate. Celebrate your independence from nonsense and fraud on the internet. Don't become a victim of propaganda. Make Earth not suck again, as we do over here at the Smash News Network, least busted name and news. You can find links to the featured products on the homepage and as well as below this video. They'll be sorted in order of best selling. Now, if you only watch space weather content on our channel, did you know that there's all kinds of other content in addition to space weather content? Well, it's true, folks. It's true. You can find beer reviews. You can find videos about meteorology. You can find, there's a hot sauce review, even videos about things like cycling. So check out our other content. We have a bunch of playlists on the channel. We also stream occasionally live onto YouTube. Thanks to everybody who's followed us over the past 5+ years of making the most detailed videos of space weather on the entire internet. So welcome to the Neo Renaissance. There's the homepage at smashomash.com. You can find our social media links, a permanent invite link to our Discord chat right there on the homepage, as well as links to the Redbubble shop and so forth. Once again, thanks to everybody who has helped us out. Shout out to Smash staff. Now, we are seeing a geomagnetic storm subsiding once again. This is the last 4 hours of magnetohydrodynamic pressure, scaled in nanopascal. That's the units of magnetohydrodynamic pressure. And you can see some subsiding there of the high pressure zone around the planet. Again, geomagnetic storm conditions have subsided here for the most part. That was Earth's magnetic moment from space. Here's Earth's magnetic moment from the ground. We'll also show you the auroral forecast. But there's the last 4 hours of ground magnetic perturbations. Geospace delta B changes to Earth's B field. The scale here is nanotesla magnetic flux density. And like the Geospace magnetosphere movie, the ground magnetic perturbations map is the last 4 hours. So here's your auroral forecast. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. We did certainly retweet one spectacular video of auroral beads. So check that out. Our Twitter account is twitter.com/smashomash. And shout out to everybody in the space weather community. Once again, thanks for tuning into the videos, and you can see there the aurorae are subsiding, along with the geomagnetic storm conditions. So KP index still at geomagnetic unrest at the moment. That's that yellow bar, it's a KP4. As we've got some high density plasma and some strong magnetic fields. So when we look at the real-time solar wind, you can see these strong. First of all, I would Note this top pane. So you can see this, the field's made it all the way up to 20 nanotesla for some brief periods of time right there. If we would have seen a strong negative BZ component, which is that red line, if that would have been well below zero, we would have seen a stronger geomagnetic storm. But the vertical component of that magnetic field has been primarily positive or sporadic. So check out the solar wind density. It made it all the way up to about 53. We saw an extended period of time there make it 56. And it was a fairly low-speed set of ejecta. Looks like some additional coronal mass ejection material did indeed show up. So it looked like a coronal hole wind stream yesterday, and there may be some coronal hole wind stream high-speed material mixed in there, but not seeing very high speeds here, as the speeds only made it up to about not even 400 kilometers per second. Just pushing the boundary of 400 kilometers per second. Current conditions are 373 kilometers per second. Solar wind density now subsided to 11.77 protons per cubic centimeter. We also did see a big change in the plasma temperature. So it looks like a low temperature CME strike there. And now we're getting back to a more normal solar wind with a solid signal here for the past couple of hours in the plasma temperature. Here are your GOES magnetometers, and those spiky readings are typical of the incoming plasma that we've been seeing recently. Plasma, it affects magnetic fields, and it has some of its own. Charged particles. Next, looking at the heliospheric current sheet, and it looks like there is a North Pole current sheet headed this way. You can see this green area here having arrived at stereo A already. Let's bring up the latest image. You can see the North Pole current sheet already arrived here at stereo A. That's this little plus sign. This is stereo B out here at Lagrange 4. And we may indeed see Earth in a North Pole current sheet. That does give us some insight into what we can expect to happen with the sunspots in the northeastern portion of the sun. Anyway, here's your line of sight plot. It also shows the solar magnetogram. Let's move to coronal holes. We've got a very well-defined North Pole-oriented coronal hole right in the Earth-facing zone. We'll show you some spectacular imagery of that next. And here it is, 193 angstroms from the SDO. Very well-defined coronal hole there. Looks like it's closing up a little bit. We can expect a high-speed stream from this in a couple of days. And NOAA is forecasting some geomagnetic storm conditions around when we make our video for Wednesday morning. So Wednesday, July 6th, we can expect another geomagnetic storm condition. I would suspect from a powerful high-speed wind from that coronal hole. Next, we'll move to sunspots, as we are wont to do most days. So here's your flare probability monitor, as well as your detected sunspot groups. I would suspect that these sunspots are going to degrade. And I would expect that sunspots in the south are going to add umbrae, that they're going to grow. That's my guess. I think these are going to degrade, and I think these are going to grow. That's my guess based on the magnetic data. Anyway, continuing on, here is your 1700 angstroms view of a bunch of stable sunspots. And again, sunspot progression has been mostly stable over the past 24. We did see a C-class flare from setting region 3040. We'll show you some imagery of that. First, the El Teide Spain ground-based magnetometers. There's your magnetometer data. Again, mostly stable here over the past 24 hours. And you can see this one C-class flare. It was a C3.2. Peak flux was 1950 last night. That's 1950 universal time. And let's take a look at no spikes in the proton flux. And here is the 94 angstroms view. And you'll see that C-class flare indeed emanated from setting region 3040 in the southwestern limb. We've got more data to blast through, so let's get to it. And we show a star chart daily. If you're up before dawn, you may see the lovely planetary pileup happening up there. And if you follow us on Instagram, we've got a great image of Venus this morning, the pre-sunrise Venus. You can find that image at instagram.com/smashomash. And you can find links to a ton of social media sites. We're all over it at smashomash.com, our homepage. We'll also do a solar system forecast. This is where things are now. And that's where things will be in a week. We'll be approaching another full moon. We'll have a gibbous waxing as Mercury and Venus break the pattern and become planets that are not all gathered on this side of the solar system. Here's your coronagraph for Independence Day. And happy July 4th to all of our viewers from around the world. Once again, Universum Liberate. Don't forget to make America not suck again. It's a function of making Earth not suck again. And let's take a look at some more coronagraphs here. Here's Stereo A at Lagrange 5 and the Soho-Lascaux C3 at Lagrange 1. We can expect to see a coronal mass ejection. Some of this material is very likely to go blasting out into the solar system. Not likely to be headed toward Earth. It's sort of on the opposite side of the sun, as you can see from Stereo A. And for you new viewers, from Stereo A's perspective, Earth would be off on this line. From the Soho-Lascaux C3, Earth would be behind you. Since again it is located at Lagrange 1, in between Earth and Sun, Stereo A located at Lagrange 5, trailing Earth orbitally and seeing space weather ahead, hence the name Stereo A for ahead. So expect CMEs coming in the next day or two. Expect more geomagnetic storm conditions coming on Wednesday. That's NOAA's forecast. And we've got some additional moving pictures for you here to close things out. And it looks like a CME actually occurring while we record the video. You can see some plasma definitely reorienting up here. Great imagery there from the GOES 16 SUVI. And we'll close out with some SDO imagery, the last 24 in 171 angstroms. And it remains the house favorite. Once again, thanks viewers, friends, foes, and everybody else for tuning in. Don't forget to leave us a comment. Press that share button. If you're an influencer, drop us a line. We're more than happy to appear on your channel. We'll feature you as well on ours. Let us know in the comments what you're having today. If you haven't had your picnic yesterday. Did you know most people have their 4th of July picnics on Sunday before the holiday Monday that occurs? It's true, folks. It's true. Anyway, it's about time to close this thing out. Thanks for tuning into the Smash News Network, the busted name of news, and may that solar wind be at your back.